What is up, guys? Fatal82 coming at you with some more raid cam footage. Tensions are running hot in the server, and two groups have banded together, combining resources, manpower, weapons, ammo, and C4 to raid the base of a dominant clan of the server, which is the FL clan. They have staged for the raid in this small house here, and they are going to attempt to raid the FL clan's base. This is the FL clan's base of operation at its present time. It is surrounded by spike walls. There is a morass of spike walls surrounding the entire base, and it's very difficult to get to. The base is surrounded by rocks. It has auxiliary tool cabinets in the cupboards, which are on the rocks adjacent to the building. These house the additional tool cabinets to extend out the building radius for the homeowners. In addition, there's a large tower up here with a crow's nest with a sleeping bag and boxes, which are presumably there for the FL members to spawn in and to snipe from that crow's nest. So Titty Milk and the other group are moving out in formation towards the base that they're going to attempt to raid. And they are moving out in a manner where they're not grouped together, which is a smart tactic to use. You want to spread yourself out as much as possible so that the people you're raiding don't know exactly how many people are coming for them. So we now see that the two squads are approaching the base. They are taking up positions in the bushes. I don't believe that the clan knows that they are incoming at this present time. It looks like we have two members coming up here, and they're throwing C4. It looks like the C4 has landed on the spike wall, and it has taken out the spike wall with one C4 charge. They are now placing, it looks like, two more C4 charges, actually three more C4 charges on the tower, and they have taken out that entire tower with the crow's nest. Smart tactical decision on their part. That could have posed a problem, and as much as it hurts to waste the C4 on that, that was actually a very smart move. These groups must have planned this out ahead of time, or maybe have tried to raid this base before. So then now it looks like they're now moving up to the side, and they're going to attempt to enter from the side. They've used C4 to blow up more of the spike barricades, and inside the base we have some tracers coming out. We have the FL clan members defending their locations. They have now woken up. There's at least a couple members in here, and they are trying to mitigate the damage being done by the raiders. They're shooting out the window. We have tracers coming in, bullets hitting the wall. The clan members are, I think, stunned by the amount of force that has been shown outside. We have the two raiding squads out here taking pot shots at the clan members who are up in the house. And it looks like they're now placing more C4 on the wall in an attempt to make it farther into that courtyard area. Looks like the wall was taken out, but spike barricades remain. The spikes at this point are the raiders' worst enemy. We have more gunfire over here. It looks like we had potentially a random person or someone from the FL squad coming up to flank the raiders, but they were not successful, and they are now ending that person's existence. So more gunfire going on up here, guys. Looks like they're trading shots with the FL clan, who are taking up defensive positions in their house. Lots of gunfire going on here, guys. Really intense. We can hear the gunfire. We can see the tracers. It's really a sight to behold. And more gunfire over here. Looks as though we had another member try to run up and flank the raiders. And we're back at the action at the base, guys. It looks like more gunfire is going on here. The courtyard has been breached by more C4. It looks like they're using their combined C4 to actually blow through the spike barricades. Looks like one of the raiding members is down. It looks like it might be Titty Milk. Their door's wide open at this point, guys. If the raiders can get in there, they can actually just get through that front door. And looks like they're going to make it. They've taken out more of the spike barricades, and they are running up to that front door. Oh, he did not know that that front door was open. He actually placed a charge on the door frame, and it looks like at the last minute the defenders actually closed their door to the raiders. So not knocking the raiders in any way. That's very hard to keep your focus when you're raiding, and you may not have noticed that the door was open. So it looks like they've used more C4. They've breached the doorway now. They are inside one of the inner rooms, which is a base level here. Doesn't look like they can get up top because they do use a modified elevator method in this base. There are some furnaces and crates down here. I'm not sure what they're finding in there. I would assume that this group has most of their loot up top in a more secure and hard to access loot room. And it looks like the raiders up here are thinking about their next move. They know that the base has been breached, and they're thinking about how best to mitigate the damage that's being done downstairs. More C4 is going off, guys. Looks like they're trying to blow out the foundations, I believe. And they're back out in the courtyard. Gunfire is not being exchanged at this point. We have a member in here who looks like he's trying to cover the inside of the base. He is now trading gunfire with the raiders who are outside. And more gunfire, guys. Looks like the raiders are backing off for the moment. We have a naked coming out here with a rock. Maybe he's trying to get the actual count of the raiders or just trying to give them a run for their money. He was taken down quickly. Not a surprise with these heavily armed raid groups outside. Looks like they're moving back into the base, and they are exchanging gunfire with the FL clan member who's in the top floor. Very intense volleys of gunfire coming here. We can really see the tracers that have been added back into the game in full effect here. They're coming from every direction, every different angle, and it's really a sight to behold. And looks like we have the raiders moving back into the courtyard area here. They are going to attempt to, I believe, I'm not sure if they're going to use more C4 or not. I'm not sure if they've ran out at this point. And it looks like more C4 is being placed, and the part of the base has blown apart. It is gibbed into different pieces. We see the debris on the ground. They are moving further into the courtyard and farther into the base as well. It looks like they're trying to actually blow the base down completely rather than build up to it. Probably that was a more judicious use of their C4 rather than trying to take out all of those auxiliary building cabinets. It looks like, guys, they've successfully blown this base to the ground. It no longer exists. They are continuing to exchange gunfire with the FL members down here. Very intense raid, guys. You don't typically see something like this in Rust quite at this scale. More gunfire over here in the courtyard area. Looks like the FL members are fighting right down to their last weapon, right down to their last bullet. And the members of the raiding parties down here are now looting what loot they can, which has fallen down from the base, from the loot crates that were destroyed, and they're picking up what they can. And they're taking out another member who had made a last-ditch effort to get down there. And it looks like, guys, the raiders are starting to move out of the area at this point. We have another FL clan member up here. He looks like he's throwing down a C4 charge. I don't know if he thought he could make it over there to the raiders or thought that he might take some of them out. That was probably actually wasted his C4 charge, but it looks like they didn't get to all their loot because it looks like they had some backup C4, at least in this outer building here. Interesting that they kept it in that part of the base. That was one of the main entry points, and that wouldn't be where I'd put my C4. So it looks like the raiding groups are now moving out. They've done all the damage they can and probably acquired all the loot that they can. Let's go back and survey the damage and take a look at what carnage was done here. You'll note that before it looked like it was a base that potentially couldn't be raided, but I guess with enough C4, with enough combined effort from two groups, you can do just about anything in Rust. When there's a will, there's always a way. So we have one of the FL clan members coming out here surveying the damage. He's coming back into the courtyard area. I imagine he's in disbelief at this point. We now have JK Cheryl coming down here to looks like scavenge for supplies and maybe pick off some stragglers. And the FL clan member guys are not down for the fight. These guys are resilient. They have run to the base of one of their allies to see if they're home, and they are actually going to, looks like, raid the house of one of their allies. You can hear the C4 being placed on the door outside, and they are going to go ahead and break the alliance with their group and take them for all they're worth. And I believe they're doing this in a frenzied effort to thrive and you know, survive in Rust, which is the main goal. They know they need to resupply, they know they need to re-gear, and they've gone actually to some friends of theirs, and they're now going to do them dirty and raid their base. And they've breached the doorway, they're moving in, looking for the loot room. They may know where the loot room is because they may have been in this base before, presumably if they're friends with the clan, which I know that they are. So they've blown open one of the loot chests, guys. You can see the loot has dropped to the ground. They can't quite jump up there to get it fully, but they are jumping and grabbing what they can. You'll notice the AKs are disappearing from the floor there. I'm not sure what else would have been housed in that chest, but it looks like it's enough so that they think it's necessary to use more C4 just to blow down that building block to get to the loot. I'm not sure what's in there, and I'm not sure exactly what they know might be in there, but they are going after that loot. And the FL clan members continue to loot their allies' house, and they are going through the loot chest, they're breaking them open, and they are taking everything that their allies had in this particular location. They're checking even the furnaces, they're taking it for all that it's worth. And it looks like they've now re-geared, and they're going to make their way back out into the world and hopefully regain some of their power on this particular seed. Members are now moving out in search of a new base to build, or perhaps to rebuild their old base. I'm not quite sure what their intentions are, but they do have some more supplies now. They have guns, presumably ammo, and whatever else was found in that particular house. One of the members stayed back to, I guess, ambush the other members of the allied clan here.
Such a bunch of fuckers. You have no honor. No honor. Bunch of pussies. Don't deserve to live anymore.
And it looks like there's a bit of a standoff going on here. And it looks like he's down for the count, guys. Well, as always, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Fado82, peace.
Crazy. Are you looking for your base? Where did it go? Fucking crazy.